Today's win for Barcelona over Atletico Madrid to reach the final of the Copa del Rey should prove to the world, should show to the world, should help the world understand why Barcelona is extreme favorites and one of the extreme favorites to win the Champions League, to win La Liga, and now to win the Copa del Rey. This game showed you why it's possible for this to actually happen. One, they have the manager of the year, in my opinion. What this guy is doing at Barcelona is absolutely out of this world. I don't care what Ancelotti, I don't care if Ancelotti goes on to win the Champions League or this and that. The transformation of Barcelona from last season to this season is not even night and day. The transformation of Lewandowski from last season to this season, night and day. The development of Lamine Yamal, the way he's worked players into systems and the way he's worked players, manager of the year, regardless of how this season ends. Now, with that being said, Barcelona has an opportunity to do something crazy, to win Copa del Rey, the Champions League, and La Liga. Is it possible? Today's game, for me, showed me it might just be possible. And the Champions League is definitely possible. See, because Barcelona at one point in this season was so far ahead. They were cooking. Everybody thought Barcelona was going to win the La Liga easily because they were so far ahead. But then they went through a slump where everyone goes, this team can't defend. They're very vulnerable in the back. They can't defend. They're not good back there. They're great going forward, but they can't defend. And they were losing points because of this. And Real Madrid got back in the race. I believe Real Madrid at one point even got back into first place in La Liga. Remember, they were like going back and forth. And then Barca finally stabled, the ship and steadied the ship and kind of took off again. Now, in this game, what it showed you was a first half where I didn't really get to watch the first half because I was watching the Benfica game. I had it on my phone, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was watching Benfica because they almost choked. And I'm watching the Benfica game, and I'm kind of paying attention now, and I'm seeing the one thing I am hearing because I have it low that is Lamine Yamal just having this incredible first half where he's dominating the game. But more importantly, Barcelona dominated the first half. Atletico Madrid started really slow. Atletico Madrid was never really in the game. And to be honest, Barca probably could have killed the game off in the first half because Barcelona was doing Barcelona type things. And you have this Torres guy who, in my opinion, is not going to be Barcelona's next year. You're probably like, why? If you look at the numbers to goals and assists that this guy's doing this season, I'm pretty sure someone's going to come knocking at the door for this guy. And the financial situation that Barcelona's in, if the right money comes to them for someone who's not a starter, you can easily see them let a player like that go because Barcelona's in a really good place right now. They're in a good place of they have a chance to win 3 competitions. They have Torres off the bench that's playing really well, which means he's valuable. And there's a lot of teams that might want him. So it's a win-win. They could win trophies. They can sell a player for a lot of money to help their financial situation. And you're not touching your starting 11. Dub, right? Anyways, back to the game. Lamine Yamal's dominating. Barcelona dominates. Atletico Madrid starts slow like they've been doing all season. It's pretty much why their season's over because they've just been a team that starts extremely slow. And Barca's doing their thing. Could have put the game away. They didn't. Second half, Simeone, who I believe probably should get sacked here. I just don't really see how he continues. They're probably going to continue with him, but I feel like at some point you got to move on from a manager. Either way, makes changes. Atleti comes out stronger, and they really start putting it to Barca. Here's the deal. Early season, Barca couldn't defend. They were vulnerable in the back. This was a defensive masterclass, something we don't hear or see from Barcelona often. Barca's always known for the tiki-taka, the going forward, this goals, outscoring opponents. Oh, wow, they play great ball. This was a defensive masterclass in the last 45 minutes. They played it perfect. Literally, Sorloth had a chance where he probably should have done better. He had side netting. But when you really sit down and think about it, Barcelona was perfect defensively. And they were great off the counter. And this, my friends, is the most important thing to win a Champions League. When you go look at Real Madrid's campaign last season to win the Champions League, when you look at the campaign, do you see a campaign where you go, oh, wow, you know what? They dominated every game. No, they countered City, defended perfectly, and knocked them out. You defend, you counter. This is needed in the Champions League. You're not always going to be able to put up 3, 4 goals. You're not always going to be able to put up 2 goals. The ball sometimes doesn't go into the net. And to win the Champions League, because it's knockout games, there's games where you have to go in the back. There's games where you have to defend, regardless of if you think you're a superior team to Dortmund or a superior team to Benfica. That doesn't matter, because in the Champions League, if a team smells blood in the water, you know what I mean, like a shark, right? If there's an opportunity, just like this Atletico Madrid game, there was an opportunity at the end and Barca had to push back. It's not because Barca's lower than Atleti, or no, Barca's the better team, but at the end of the day, there's an opportunity a team's going to push. That's just football. And that's going to happen in the Champions League, regardless of who Barcelona's playing. And the fact that they're able to do this now, the fact that we can talk about them in a different way, where we can say, oh, wait a minute, this team can defend. That's a championship team. Championships come off building off defense, bro. Defense wins championships. And with Lamine Yamal up top, with Rafinha up top, with Lewandowski the way he's been, with Torres off the bench, I tell you, I see a team that could win many competitions. I see a team that can win La Liga. I see a team that can win Copa del Rey. Because if you ask me right now who's favorites to win Copa del Rey, I'm going to tell you Barcelona. And I know you're going to say to me, what? But I just watched Real Sociedad go into Real Madrid Stadium and almost eliminate them. We all saw it. We all saw a defense that looks vulnerable, a defense that looks in shambles, a team that's not dealing well with pressure at the moment. When you look at Real Madrid, it's the opposite. Real Madrid is doing what Barcelona did mid-season, right? Early season, where they started dropping all those points because they were vulnerable in the back. They couldn't defend in the back. That's what Madrid's doing right now. We're like, David Alaba's having bad performances, and then Barca flipped the switch. And when you have somebody to the talent of Lamine Yamal, when you have somebody, this kid is ridiculous. I don't think people won't understand until they really sit down and, like, I hope Barca wins some stuff this year, right? As someone who enjoys watching Madrid more than Barca, I'm telling you, I hope they win some stuff this year, because Lamine Yamal deserves it. Lamine Yamal deserves to not have just won the Euro this year, but to win more, because the kid's incredible. The kid is out of this world. And unfortunately, we live in a generation, a sports generation, that people look at stats and then trophies. Stats and then trophies. And if you don't have the stats or the trophies, people will just wave off your performances, right? Mo Salah was up for a Ballon d'Or a couple weeks ago. Everybody was saying he was the best winger in football. They got eliminated from the Champions League. You heard Mo Salah's name again? You see what I'm saying? We live in a generation that it's about trophies and stats and trophies and stats and trophies and stats. And if Lamine Yamal goes on to win the Euro, goes on and wins the Champions League, where do you put him? Is he on that stage with Rafinha as top 3 for a Ballon d'Or? I don't know. I can't tell you, because I'm not saying he's having a Ballon d'Or season, but I'm telling you the performance he's been putting out there, and him being a part of all these winning teams, it starts to become a conversation where people start to go, man, this kid is like really like, what's the common denominator here, right? Like, you look at Spain and they were winning, and then you look at and there's something that's the same, right? And it's Lamine Yamal. So I'm not saying give the kid a Ballon d'Or. I'm not saying he's having a Ballon d'Or season. I'm telling you, I hope he wins more so people can respect what he's doing. Because the generation that we live in, like I said, if you don't pull out a trophy, if you don't pull out a crazy amount of stats, they just ignore you and they kind of push you to the side. Mo Salah has been pushed to the side because Liverpool got knocked out the Champions League. Pushed to the side. People started saying, "Oh, have you seen he doesn't perform in important games. He doesn't this, he doesn't that." So they just pushed him to the side and they moved on from him. And then Mbappe started scoring a lot now. And Mbappe's talked about as, wait a minute, they're in the Champions League. They have a chance of winning it. He's scoring a lot. Ballon d'Or by looking this way. And that's the way we switch as football fans now. It's all about who can get where, who can win this. And that's how the only way people kind of judge a player. But I'm telling you that I hope that Lamine Yamal wins some stuff so we judge him properly, because the season he had this season is not normal for what for the age he is, the way he's performing, the way he's playing, lads. He is a phenomenal, unbelievable football player. And I just hope he gets the respect he deserves from the world, right? Even if he don't win stuff. But you know they won't if he don't win stuff. So it's going to be a great Copa del Rey final. I would say Barca's favorites right now, unless Real Madrid can fix that defense. I would say Barca's favorites for the Champions League. Unless someone around the world starts proving us differently, this team can defend, this team can attack. Rafinha has goals in them, Lewandowski has goals in them, Lamine Yamal has everything in them. They're a scary football club. They're a scary football club, and I'm happy for Barcelona fans. I truly am, because at a time where it looked like Real Madrid, they landed Mbappe, they landed Vinny, they landed Valverde. They looked like they couldn't miss on signings. At a time where everything looked like, whoa, this team is getting scary. Barcelona built a scary team as well. So congratulations to them. With all the noise that was happening with their board and new boards coming in and financial issues, and still able to put this type of team together, hats off to Barcelona, man. Hats off to them.